You're listening to This Week in Big Sky Football, a comprehensive look at all this week's action in Big Sky Football. Now here's your host, Scott Garrard.
And welcome on in. It's another edition of This Week in Big Sky Football. I'm Scott Garrard. Great show lined up for you. Portland State coach Bruce Barnum will join us here in a moment. Also, North Dakota safety Cole Reyes in segment number 2, and we wrap things up, as always, with a conversation with Stats Craig Haley. We'll also get you your Root Sports Players of the Week. But let's take a look at the games from last weekend. Eastern Washington trailed at halftime in a game against UC Davis 24-13, so you think they're in trouble, right? Yeah, no. They actually go on to win 63-30. Congratulations, obviously, to Eastern receiver Cooper Kupp. 12 catches, 274 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Becomes the all-time leader in FCS receiving yards. He now has 5,400 yards. Eagles move to 4-1 on the season. North Dakota with a win over Cal Poly 31-24. Fighting Hawks able to get off to a 10-0 lead on their way to a third straight win. Also, Torrey Hunt with a game-saving interception in the end zone to get the win. Northern Colorado with a 21-18 victory over Northern Arizona. Bears go on a 21-3 run in that game as Northern Colorado running back Trey Reich rushed for 107 yards, also catching 2 catches for 43 yards and a score. Bears are 3-1 for the first time since 2003. It was homecoming in Missoula, and Montana got a win over Southern Utah. Final score there 43-20. Grizz quarterback Brady Gustafson threw for 415 yards, 4 scores. Connected on 27 of 50 passes. Senior quarterback found 4 different receivers for scores. Southern Utah receiver Mike Sharp with 2 scores in that game. Sacramento State with a big win over Montana State, 41-38. Final period all belonged to the Hornets. Sacramento State went on a 21-0 run as Jalen Ratliff making 2 over-the-shoulder grabs on laser-like throws from Hornets quarterback Nate Ketterington. He also threw for 356 yards, 4 scores. Jalen Ratliff, 89 receiving yards, and 2 scores. Portland State with a victory over Idaho State, 45-20. Vikings posting 531 yards of total offense against the Bengals, and every single one of those yards coming on the ground. Viking quarterback Alex Kress didn't complete a pass, but didn't matter in the bit, at least. Portland State had 2 players rush for 90 yards or more, with Nate Tago rushing for 199 yards and a score. Paris Penn, 184 yards and 4 touchdowns. After a performance like that, we got to talk to a head coach. Bruce Barnum, head coach of Portland State, joining us here on This Week in Big Sky Football. Coach, how the heck are you?
Scotty, good to hear you. Love your show. What a week in the Big Sky, huh?
Yeah,
here we go again.
No kidding. You know what? This conference never hurts for any drama, does it not?
It doesn't. Every Saturday night or Sunday, we sit around as coaches and we go, "What? No, they didn't."
Hey,
it's a fun conference.
Just the spirit of full disclosure, you're taking time out of practice to talk with us, and we really appreciate that. Are you seeing a little bit more spring in everyone's step out there on practice after getting a big win over the Bengals?
Yeah, winning's an elixir, Scotty. It breeds confidence, and I saw a little bit on the sideline. It's what we needed. We're young, and that drop of confidence coming out of that, and the win over Idaho State helps.
You didn't complete a single pass in that game. You only threw 5 attempts. Is that something that you saw on film, or is that just, how the game played out and you realize, hey, we can get the yards on the ground, let's just stick with it?
Scotty, I told everybody we're going to cut the package back. I don't think they thought I'd do it that much. I'm going to take what they give you. I don't need the statistics. I wanted to win. Winning football games in this conference in college football is hard. And we wrote it out. I wanted the clock gone. I wanted us to have more points than them, and that's how it worked out. We were able to, up front, and I had some tailbacks. Hit it. Alex hit it. So we got out there with a win, and I didn't even know. I realized it. Mike Lund came running up after the game and told me. I was like, whoops, is that right?
There may be some quarterbacks out there that may not be happy about that, but I've known the Caressa family for years, and I know Alex well enough that he doesn't care. As long as it's a W, he'll let you run the ball all day long.
He will, and he was great, and he's funny. I mean, he joked about it, but a leader. I wish I had him for another 10 years.
We watched the camp report you did with John Oglesby back in August. You talked about this season being like a second trip to Disneyland. You've had some adversity this year. Do you still feel like you're a kid in a candy store right now?
Yeah, I've got the greatest job in the world, Scotty. I really do. I'm at a place that you can win. Yes, we've had some things happen, but it's not what happens to you; it's how you react. And we're very young right now. I just lost another guy yesterday, concussions for his career. So there's some things hitting us right now. The football guys might not be shining on us, but my staff and my players and administration, everybody. I love how they're reacting. I love how my team's acting right now. So no woe is me here.
No.
We're hitting it. We're getting after it. We'll be all right.
Nice. Bruce Barnum joining us here on This Week in Big Sky Football. Alex Caressa, just a tremendous leader. Are those kind of guys born, or can you coach up that kind of leadership and that kind of personality that helps your team?
Oh, no. We recruited it. Whoever had his family, his prior coaches, Scott, we didn't. I mean, all we did was give that kid a stage. Alex took over from the day he walked in the door, leadership-wise. And those kudos go to somebody else. We recruited a leader, but the work was done long before he got to Portland State.
You got Weber State coming up Saturday in Ogden. What jumps out on you on the film when you look at the Wildcats?
Number 23. I think it's Tavon. He's a guy. I love that kid. I actually got a chance to meet him at the Big Sky deal. He's everything Jay thinks he is. I mean, he's an impressive football player. We play Southern Utah, just going through our games so far. Mike Sharp, I think, is above and beyond a lot of guys in this league. And 23 for Weber he's fun to watch on film. I watched every one of his games, and the second time through, I just watched him. So impressive and doing it right. I know they've had the injury bug also, and we're going. And it's going to be a tough venue. A lot of guys have. I think there's 5 guys, and this is one of them that have a bye before us, so they'll be ready. And it's a night game, so they'll be fired up. You better bring it. But that's anybody in the Big Sky. You better bring it.
What does this team need to do? I mean, you're 2-0 at home. You're 0-3 on the road. What does this team need to do to try to make that step to being a great road team like you were last year?
Oh, we'll be all right. We're doing the same thing. You mentioned it before. The Americana Tour.
Yeah.
We talked last night because we're young. I said, listen, here's why we do these things. We took him to Chris Angel. We've been to Alcatraz. We did our walkthrough at the yard at Alcatraz, Scotty, last year. I do things to get him out of the fight. And this trip, we get in early Friday. I'm going to bring him to the temple, downtown. Let him walk through that. That's a national landmark. Then we go to the Hogle Zoo, and then we're going to have lunch. Then we go practice. But on Saturday, that's what I have to teach them because they are a little young. On Saturday, I'll do anything for you. But on Saturday is why we're here. So lock it in. I think we locked in a little late down in Southern Utah. We had a great second half, but the first half they got all over us. But just teaching them how to act, how to play the game of football. Again, a lot of youth, a lot of true freshmen on this field I'm looking at right now. So I like the future of Portland State.
How important is it? Because, a lot of coaches are like, look, we're going to get in there Friday night. We're going to hole up in our hotel, and then we're going to get you the game on Saturday, and then we're out of there immediately when that game's over. It sounds like you like to provide some life experiences for these guys when you're on the road. How important is that for you, a coach, for you to expose these guys to more than just football when they're out on the road a bit?
It's our job as coaches. I need to win games, Scotty. They'll run me out of here like anybody else, but I see it as our job as coaches to prepare these guys. We went to a safari park, on the way down to San Jose, and there's guys that have never seen a bear, for Christ's sake. It was like, whoa, what's that? You're grabbing cameras, and I want to prepare them for the next 40 years when they leave us. And I want them to enjoy their experience here. Every game is a bowl game, and then I try to give them that mini bowl game experience that all the FBS teams get when they make it every game, to make every game as big as I can.
Love it, Coach. You're one of the best, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of practice. Congratulations on the win. Let's do this again soon.
I appreciate it, Scotty. You do a hell of a job. And say hi to O'Haley. I haven't talked to him. I got a chance to meet him last year when he gave me the crystal deal, and he's a cool guy.
You got it. We'll do for sure. Thanks so much, Coach.
All right, George, love you.
You got it. That's Bruce Barnum here on 97 on This Week in Big Sky Football. When we come back, we got all kinds of good stuff to talk about. North Dakota safety Cole Reyes will join the program. It's all straight ahead, and you're listening to another edition of This Week in Big Sky Football.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
NCAA Division I FCS football is a game of perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game, every FCS student-athlete grows in his responsibilities as a student and as a member of his campus and community. Dedicated to personal growth and success in the classroom, the NCAA Division I FCS, every down, every day.
Welcome back to This Week in Big Sky Football.
Welcome on back. You're listening to This Week in Big Sky Football. Here in a moment, we're going to chat with North Dakota safety Cole Reyes. But first, let's review last week's Root Sports Big Sky Football Players of the Week. No big shocker here. Eastern Washington receiver Cooper Kupp, your Root Sports Offensive Player of the Week. 12 catches, 274 yards, 2 scores. In the process, he became the all-time leader in FCS receiving yards with 5,417 yards after last week's win against UC Davis. Northern Colorado cornerback Marshawn Cameron, your Root Sports Defensive Player of the Week. A redshirt freshman making 13 tackles, forcing 2 fumbles, recovered another, and UNC's victory over Northern Arizona also had a big pass breakup on NAU's last drive. And Eastern Washington kick returner Antoine Custer is your Special Teams Player of the Week for the second time this season. Jump-started Eastern Washington's second half with a 55-yard return. He averaged 35.5 yards per return on the day. Not a bad day at the office. Root Sports, your official television partner of the Big Sky Conference this week. Big Sky Conference football game on Root Sports features Montana State as they host Northern Arizona. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock on Root Sports. All right, time to go out to the phones. Welcome in a safety for one of the best defenses in the Big Sky Conference. It's North Dakota safety Cole Reyes. How are you, Cole? Cole, you there?
Yeah, hello.
There we go. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. All right, so you started the season 0-2, a couple of heartbreaking losses, but you guys have responded with 3 gritty wins. Was there anything that you had to change, or was it just a matter of eventually you were going to break through and start winning some football games?
I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, the first 2 we were right there, waiting on our offense to get clicking a little bit, and then they finally started to win those close games. And even defensively, we started making a couple small adjustments and doing some of our key assignments right. So I think a little bit of everything plays a role in what we've been able to accomplish lately.
How important is it for that locker room to stay calm in situations like that? Because it sounds like that's exactly what you guys did.
It's very key. I mean, we got good Coach Schweigert's great with that. I mean, so are our coordinators and good leaders on the team to just make sure everyone's calm and we just communicate and get through the games. And I think we're all ready to fight to the last minute. So that's the best part about the team right now.
You started out conference play 2-0. Obviously, it's all about those conference wins. How confident is this team right now after the undefeated start in conference play?
I think pretty confident because we got beat 2 good key opponents in the conference, 2 of the stronger opponents. So pretty confident, but we don't take it to the head. We just want to keep rolling and keep our season going strong.
You got a head coach there in Bubba Schweigart, who may be one of the nicest people in the game of college football. What's his attitude like in the practice field? Because we see this nice, composed gentleman. What's he like behind the scenes when he's getting after some of you guys in the film room?
Yeah, Schweigart, he's a nice guy, but sometimes at practice he shows things that others don't get to see much, but in a positive way. I mean, he's a great guy. Team loves him as our leader, so he's a great leader for our team.
Tell us a little bit about your story, how you ended up there in North Dakota.
After my junior season, I started kind of
getting offers from a couple FCS schools. Between really, North Dakota was the only Big Sky school, but then a lot of Missouri Valley schools were interested in me and offered me because I'm from Illinois. So, but North Dakota was the first one, so it was kind of just different from the whole it's Midwest, but it kind of has a different vibe than Illinois and Wisconsin and stuff like that. And I just think they did a really good job recruiting, and I felt comfortable here. And to be honest, I couldn't be happier with the decision I made.
Well, coming from Illinois, too, you're not too overly surprised by those North Dakota winners either, right?
Oh, no. I mean, it's kind of strange, though, because they call Chicago the Windy City, and then you get out here and it's so flat that the wind is crazy. It seems like it's so much stronger than it is in Chicago.
Interesting.
But, yeah, I'm used to the winters. It's not too bad.
So you've been playing, obviously defense for quite some time. When do you feel like at times you're kind of the quarterback of that defense, making sure guys are where they need to be? Do you enjoy that role of being perhaps a leader on that defense?
Yeah, that's kind of the job I took over, especially with Rattel leaving last year, kind of just being the leader and getting everyone in the right spot and making the calls. And Coach Schmidt will tell you that the safety's the quarterback of the defense, and I think it's a great role to have to get everyone set and ready for each play.
You've got a long road trip this weekend. You're going to Sacramento State. They're coming off a big win over Montana State. So give us some of the keys to what you guys need to do to make sure you get a win on the road here.
Just have a great week of practice, get all of our assignments and stuff sharp, and then just have confidence out there. They kind of figured out who they're going to be the last couple weeks with whether they were going to run the ball or pass, and they kind of got pass heavy last week and ended up getting a big victory over Montana State. So especially in the back row, you got to have good eyes and good technique and stuff like that, and just go out there and be confident and try to get another win on the road in the Big Sky.
How hard is it to get those road wins in this conference?
Oh, we talk about it all the time. I mean, in the Big Sky is probably you're not really going to blow a team out. It's rare to blow a team out or get an easy win, especially on the road. I mean, every game in the Big Sky is going to be a tough one, whether you're the top-ranked team playing the last-ranked team. It's always going to be a tough game. So we know what to expect, and we know what we're going to have to do.
Well, Cole, we appreciate it. Congratulations on the recent success. Keep it rolling. Let's catch up again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got it. Cole Reyes here on This Week in Big Sky Football as they get set for a big showdown coming up with Sacramento State. Coming up next, we'll go through the full schedule of games coming up and where you can watch those games along the Big Sky Conference. And as always, we'll catch with Craig Haley from Stats, get his thoughts on the games coming up this weekend as well. It's all straight ahead. You're listening to another edition of This Week in Big Sky Football.
NCAA Division I FCS football is a game of perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game, every FCS student-athlete grows in his responsibilities as a student and as a member of his campus and community. Dedicated to personal growth and success in the classroom, the NCAA Division I FCS, every down, every day.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome back to This Week in Big Sky Football.
Final segment of the show. You're listening to another edition of This Week in Big Sky Football. I'm Scott Garrard. Austin Horton, as always, putting it all together. Now is the time for all you fans of Big Sky Conference football to download that Big Sky Conference app. Frankly, you should have had it already. If not, though, get your act together. Download that bad boy. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store or Google Play. Download the Big Sky Conference app. It's absolutely for free. You're going to get your live streaming games. You're going to interact on Big Sky social media and get premium exclusive content. That's the Big Sky Conference app on your App Store or Google Play. We'll be joined in just a moment by Stats Craig Haley, but first let's get out to the game schedule for this week and where you can watch each and every one of them. First, Northern Colorado and Eastern Washington start out your day. It's the Road to Frisco game of the week as picked by the FCS National Championship Hosting Committee. It should be a good one, too. Bears and Eagles kick off at 1 o'clock Pacific on SWX and WatchBigSky.com. Montana playing a non-conference game this weekend as the Grizz will host Mississippi Valley State. Does that name sound familiar? Yeah, it's Jerry Rice's alma mater. Grizzlies and the Delta Devils kick off at 2:30 Mountain, and you can watch that game on WatchBigSky.com. Northern Arizona plays Montana State. That's a 5 o'clock Mountain kickoff. Game will be broadcast around the country on Root Sports Northwest, Root Sports Rocky Mountain, and Root Sports Southwest, and DirecTV's Audience Network. Portland State and Weber State will do battle at 6 o'clock Mountain up in Ogden. That game is available on KJazz TV in Utah as well as WatchBigSky.com. UC Davis and Southern Utah clashing after coming off tough road losses last week. That game will also kick off at 6 o'clock Mountain and is available on WatchBigSky.com. Then North Dakota and Sacramento State serves as your nightcap. You got a 6 p.m. kickoff. And again, as always, you can watch that bad boy on WatchBigSky.com. Root Sports is your official television partner of the Big Sky Conference. This week's Big Sky Conference football game on Root Sports has Montana State as they host Northern Arizona. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock and again on Root Sports. All right, time to welcome in senior FCS editor at Stats. It's Craig Haley. Craig, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. I'm listening to you give you the schedule there, and I'm thinking Mississippi Valley State's not winning this week.
Yeah, probably not. Hey, by the way, we had Bruce Barnum on in our first segment, and he wanted to give you a shout out. He goes, I really enjoyed chatting with that guy. Now, granted, he was handing me a big trophy at the time, but still, I enjoyed hanging out with him. So he sends you his best wishes.
He's terrific. Thank you.
He really is good for the Big Sky Conference. I mean, obviously you want coaches out there that win games and graduate players, but it's also good when you got some personalities in there as well.
Oh, he's been terrific. You're right. I mean, even, last year was a magical year. They're not quite the same this year, but at the same time, you're not going to find a more pleasant, coach to be around and more fun and fun for the game, like you mentioned.
No doubt about it. All right, so let's go back to some games this previous week, and there for a moment, the first half, some people thought, maybe Eastern's in a little bit of trouble, and then they go on to score 63 points against UC Davis. Is there really anything stopping this team from here on out?
Well, somebody out there can probably stop them, but I'm just not sure who that is. I mean, they've scored, big out of conference. I mean, they should keep scoring, in bunches within the Big Sky. Gage Gubrud is, kind of taking them to another level because he utilizes all his receivers so well and is such a dual threat. I think you have to worry about their lack of a run game, but this can be an all-time passing offense in the FCS by the season's end. Yeah,
there's no doubt, and especially when you got Cooper Kupp receiving. He's got 274 receiving yards in that game, all-time leader in receiving yards in FCS football. Is there any chance that awards eventually may be named after this guy? Because it's ridiculous, the numbers he's putting up.
I think you're on to something because he's an absolute legend. I mean, you asked me last week about where Cooper stands in this year's awards race. I thought missing a game and a half with the shoulder injury kind of opened the door to some others, but, he's come back and just taken the lead role. I mean, I think you maybe put Eli Jenkins, the quarterback at Jacksonville State, up there as well, but Cooper appears unstoppable. I mean, he's just tremendous week in and week out.
Yeah, he's just a special player, and I think we're all watching history every time he steps out on the field, and he's the kind of guy that years from now we'll talk about watching him play this game of football at this level. North Dakota picked up a big win against Cal Poly. How much does that hurt Cal Poly, or is it more about boosting North Dakota, in your opinion?
Well, I think, North Dakota needed the win a little more. So, they took a nice stand playing at home. I mean, yes, that game, I think, was more about North Dakota. I mean, they were helped by, Joe Prothero being out of the Cal Poly lineup, but, North Dakota's good at dictating a game. They're 2-0 in the Big Sky. They don't have to face Eastern Washington and Montana in the unbalanced scheduling of such a large league. So they're legitimate contenders. I think that game kind of said a lot about North Dakota.
Montana got a big win against a very, very good Southern Utah team. I know you said last week you had some questions about the Grizz. Did any of those get answered in that game against Southern Utah?
Well, it was a very good win, Scott. You're right. I mean, they should win games at home, and in this one they dominated the defending champs. So that's a great sign. I think the Grizz would probably have to admit they hadn't quite hit their stride before that game, but if they start to be consistent, this group is strong. I mean, they've proven they can beat good opponents under Bob Stitt. So, yeah, I think it did, ease some concerns. You didn't want to see an inconsistent team, and then that's a great win. They were getting ready for Mississippi Valley State, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's go to, I think this is interesting, too, Northern Colorado. They're 3-1 for the first time since 2003. Now, granted, they've got a big battle against them. They're going to Cheney to take on the Eagles. But are you buying into Northern Colorado?
Well, I wouldn't say fully. I think there's always a surprise team in the race. Maybe this could be the team. I mean, they've improved a lot as a program in recent years. They can score points. They probably need to mature a little on defense. Last week was a big step for the defense, but of course it wasn't against Case Cookus. I mean, you have to like the momentum they've gained under Coach Collins and his staff. I think another winning season, it appears likely, and that's saying a lot. It's going to be hard to slow down Eastern. I don't think their defense is quite ready.
Time for another edition of the Craig Haley Top 5. Who are you seeing out there? Give me your rankings of your top 5 in the country.
Well, no change for me this week. NDSU, number 1, Eastern Washington, 2, Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State, and Chattanooga. I think if you add in like James Madison and Richmond from the CA, it was a very good week for the top teams a week ago in conference play. I think you like stability, but at the same time, I like to see some upsets up there as well. And we didn't have them last week. We'll see how it goes this week.
Well, in this conference and in this level of college football, every week is interesting. There's no doubt anything can happen.
Yeah, it's tremendous. The FCS is just every week is it's a season in itself.
Well, Craig, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to catching up with you again here very soon.
Thank you, Scott.
You got it. One of the best stats, Craig Haley. All right, quickly, our schedule for the games coming up this weekend. Northern Colorado takes on Eastern Washington. Montana playing a non-conference game this weekend. As we mentioned, they will take on the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State. Northern Arizona squares off against Montana State. Portland State will square off against Weber State. UC Davis takes on Southern Utah. Both those teams coming off tough road losses. North Dakota takes on Sacramento State. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock. And your Root Sports game of the week, you'll see Montana State taking on Northern Arizona. That game will start at 5 o'clock coming up on Root Sports. Remember, Root Sports, your official television partner of the Big Sky Conference. And for all your other games, make sure to download the app, the Big Sky Conference app, on your iTunes or Google Play. You can watch all the games streaming for free, or you can just go online to watchbigsky.com. That's watchbigsky.com. Big thanks to Portland State coach Bruce Barnum, North Dakota safety Cole Reyes, as well as Craig Haley from Stats. Big thanks to Austin Horton and John Oglesby for putting the show together. I'm Scott Garrard. Enjoy the weekend. Be back with you next week for another edition of This Week in Big Sky Football.